Have you ever felt lost in life? Like your family and friends all have something they're passionate about or something they want to do, and meanwhile, you spend your days holed up in your room, sitting in front of a screen, playing games and watching videos like this. Well, cool, cause this manga doesn't have anything to do with that.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
What it will do, though, is put you on the perspective of the guy who does have passions and who will do anything he possibly can to see them through, and hopefully, along the way, it'll motivate you to do the same. It's finally April, or at least it was when I was recording this. The month where cherry blossoms start to bloom, winter is finally gone, and all weebs can finally come together and declare, "Fall in love we shall." Oh, wait. So to cheer up things, let's talk about something that really will make your heart skip a beat. Romance can sometimes be perceived as a simple genre. You know the gist. Guy meets girl, they start to develop feelings for each other, eventually we get the long-awaited confession scene, and a few chapters later, it ends. Sure, this might be a very simplified description, as over the last few years, we've been getting more and more diversified romance manga and anime with very different and interesting concepts, but overall, the core principles of the storyline remain the same. That's, of course, until a masterpiece is born. Blue Box follows the life of Inomata Taiki, a badminton-loving high schooler who develops a crush on his senpai in the school's female basketball team, Chinatsu Kano, after one day he sees her practicing right after her team failed to make nationals. Sure, at surface level this might seem like a regular run-of-the-mill romance manga, but as the story progresses, you start to see that it is so much more than that. As you start to see the main character grow in her presence, she becomes a source of inspiration. She makes him want to work harder himself in order to reach his goal, going to nationals. And then, you start to realize that this might not be just another romance manga. This is special. And this is what happens when you think you're a movie director. The way the author manages to incorporate both romance and sports into the story is nothing short of exceptional. Most manga tend to focus in either romance or sports, and almost never manage to explore the full potential of both, since usually, when you start to focus too much in one, the other loses focus. But in Blue Box, that is not the case, as you understand that their love only evolves because of the sport, and equally, the hard work and improvement that goes into the sports side of things only happens because of their feelings for each other. This perfectly highlights how they mature over time, regardless of their developments, love and sports-wise. Nevertheless, the story isn't just about Taiki and Kano's romantic developments, but mainly about their personal developments, sometimes even putting the romance part of the story to the side, since the characters themselves recognize that their individual lives are more important than their love affair. But don't get me wrong, it is still one of the most diabetic romance mangas I've read. It is a joy to follow these characters as they mature and their feelings for each other continue to grow over time. It's just that it's so much more than that. Taiki is just the biggest ray of sunshine. I mean, he really is. Sometimes even reminds me of the Teletubbies' son. I mean, he's just a regular high school kid who loves playing badminton and has a crush on his upperclassmen like many of us have had in the past. His character is such a realistic portrayal of what a high schooler really is like, and we don't see that very often in anime. And don't even get me started on Chinatsu, she's just a perfect female lead. She's the popular girl, won't let anything or anyone get in the way of her dream, posing as the perfect source of inspiration for our main character. And it's because of that blind determination that when faced with an unfamiliar situation, she is forced to mature, be it concerning romance, internal struggles, or even unresolved issues from the past. Even the side characters that are introduced are all interesting and have their own motivations and objectives in life. We have Kyo, the stereotypical oddly perceptive main character's best friend, who maybe has a hidden past that shapes the way he is today. We have Haruyu, the badminton team's ace and main rival as well as mentor to our protagonist, whose love for badminton competes with or even outweighs his. Hell, we even have best girl, Ina, another of Taiki's best friends who also happens to be the rhythmic gymnastics team ace, ranked number 4 nationally and the prettiest girl among the first years. And I'm not even counting the plethora of side characters that are introduced later on in the story. Seriously, the care the author gives to every character in the story is remarkable. All of them seem like genuinely interesting people you'd probably get along with in real life. And you know, I've seen some people complaining that it doesn't have enough sports, and then, when it focuses on sports, people complain about there not being any developments in the romance. And while this is definitely a valid point for people who just want either one or the other, I don't completely agree with it, since I think both parts of the story are so well interconnected that when one is put to the side for a bit, I always get reminded of the influence the others had in it. But for people like me who can enjoy both facets equally, it's such an amazing ride. And the best part about this manga is that it has an anime adaptation coming in October, and if it's adapted well, it has the potential to become one of the new gems of the romance genre, and for sure, it'll make it to many people's favorites lists. But seriously, if you can look past the plot twist in the first chapter that can honestly put you off for the series, Blue Box is an incredibly well-crafted story with genuinely intriguing personalities that has not only a diabetic romance story, but also an absolutely nerve-wracking sports drama that will leave you wanting more. I've honestly read a lot of romance manga in my life since it's one of my favorite genres, but very few has stuck with me the way Blue Box has. The characters really intrigue you and make you want to root for them, and the intense sports scenes won't let you put down the series. That's why it is consistently the manga I look forward to the most every week. It's not a story about romance. It's not a story about sports either. It's a story about how you mature as a teenager while coping with your passions, be it in the court or during a passionate romance. How do you deal with defeat? How do you deal with success? Whatever it is, there is surely a lesson to learn.